do you respond to new people walking into your church? Do you welcome them with open arms, or do you kind of sit back and watch them? Today I want to share a story with you of a man who walked into a church. This man was homeless, and he went into this really huge, beautiful church where there were tens of thousands of people. He was greeted by a few people, volunteers. It was their job, he felt. As he wandered around this beautiful building, he attempted to hint to at least some of the volunteers that he would love to go to lunch with someone, but no one took him up on that offer. He wanders around the building until the sanctuary opens, watching the people mingle, seeing how they treat one another and how they're treating other people who are coming in. When the sanctuary doors open, excited to be in the house of God, he beelines for the front row, has a seat, gets comfortable, begins to pray. And the next thing he knows, he has a couple of ushers and a security guard next to him, asking him to please come with them as they politely escort him to the back of the church. Confused and a little bewildered, he doesn't understand why he would not be allowed to sit where he chose to sit. But he takes a seat in the back and doesn't make a scene and continues to worship through the service. At the end of the service, the elders come up. They were going to introduce their new pastor that day. So everybody gets excited to see who this is and meet this person that's coming in. As they call out Pastor Mike, he stands up in the back of the church and looks around as everybody's standing and clapping, and walks to the front. As he steps up on the stage, it's the homeless man. And they're confused. They stop clapping and they look. And he takes a mic and he reads from Matthew 25, where it says, "What you did not do for the least of these, you did not do for me." This story would leave us questioning, are we quick to think, I would never do something like that? Let me ask you this. Have you ever ignored someone in your busyness at church or at work or in the store that maybe God put in your path for you to minister to? Maybe it is a homeless person. Maybe it is a person that looks different from you or sounds different from you that makes it uncomfortable for you to step out of your comfort zone and meet them where they're at and just love on them. It's a sobering thought to consider. But these scenarios play out in not just around the world, but in our churches every week as people shy away when somebody that looks different than them comes in, no matter what the reason is. In James 2:14, James challenges us because he says, what good is it if you have faith without works, without deeds? He illustrates this with a very stark example in saying that what if somebody comes to you and they're naked and they're cold and they're hungry, and you look at them and you say, go in peace, be full, be warm, enjoy life, but you do nothing to help them. How are they going to know that you're a follower of Christ if you will not even help meet their basic needs? We may not realize it, but in our digital age, we can share inspirational posts and put out there how blessed we are and how we're doing this or that for overseas. But we may have somebody living right below us that's suffering and needs our help that we're overlooking. Or we may have a friend on our social media that we know is struggling while we're sharing our blessings. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with believers being blessed, but in our blessings, we need to remember to take care of the least of these. James tells us that the true religion is taking care of widows and orphans. Widows and orphans in our culture today is more about the homeless, those who have less than we do because of poverty, those who may have less than we do because of physical or mental health issues. We need to do our part as believers and live our faith out loud for the world to see by taking care of those who cannot take care of themselves. Now, I know we can't fix everybody's problems. We can't clothe every homeless person or feed every homeless person. We can't buy everything somebody needs, but we can give a hot meal. We can give a smile. We can stop and say a prayer for somebody. So today, let's commit to showing our faith through what we do, not just through what we say. Let's be the hands and feet of Jesus, showcasing his compassion for his creation, regardless of who they are. God made them, and he loves them and wants them to know who he is. And you or I may be the only Jesus they see in their world. So step out today and be that Jesus.